Fiber by Design, and we are on episode 58. I can't believe we're almost through the 50s. We were just celebrating being at 50, and we're almost through the 50s now. It's crazy. So, but it is Sunday, April 24th. Right? Yeah.
It's my husband's birthday.
It is your husband's birthday. Happy birthday. Not that he watches. I don't think he watches. Does he watch us? He doesn't watch us. But anyway, I told him happy birthday earlier on Facebook, so he'll see it eventually.
Did you?
I did. But I'm Lydia. You can find me as Lydia B on Ravelry, and you can find me as Lydia Knits on Instagram and Periscope and Elo, although I'm not on Periscope and Elo very much, so the easiest place to find me is on Instagram or on Ravelry. So.
Yeah, that's kind of me too. My name's Sarah Stevens. You can find me as Sarah Stevens on Ravelry and Sarah Stevens 11 on Instagram and Periscope, but the same thing applies. Instagram, easier for me. Instagram's even easier to get a hold of me than Ravelry, because with Instagram I get a notification, and on Ravelry sometimes I don't check my messages for a while, because after I get done doing everything else, I never make it to my messages.
While we're on that subject, if you have emailed me on Ravelry and haven't heard back, please don't be discouraged. I have several emails that I have to respond to. Sarah probably can attest to this as well. We get a lot of them a day, so it does take us a while to go through them. So if you have emailed me, I will get to you, I promise. Please don't think I'm ignoring you, because I'm honestly not.
Yeah, so it takes us a while.
It does.
Especially when we have limited internet.
I don't have that problem, but Sarah does. She has internet that's it's frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
But you can also find us as Ohloops on Instagram and Facebook and Ravelry, because we are the indie dyers behind that. So we do have a Ravelry group there, so you can pop on over there and join if you haven't done so. We have all of our show notes there, as well as on the YouTube down bar. But we also host all of our knit-alongs and things from our Ravelry group. So, and we want to say thank you really quick to new and returning viewers. If you are new, thanks for checking us out. We are a knitting and fiber-related podcast that chronicles our fiber-filled lives. And if you're not new and you're coming back, thanks for hanging out with us again. We really appreciate that. We are over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, you guys.
I know, it's crazy cool.
Hit, I think, like 210 last week, which was really exciting. Cool. We were pretty happy about that. So thank you for subscribing.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
It is. But I think jumping right in, neither one of us has a handmade wardrobe today.
Nope.
We will get back to doing that eventually, you guys, promise. We have to knit a few more things. I think we've exhausted the handmade wardrobes that we actually wear.
The ones that I wear.
Aside from hats. I haven't shown all of my hats yet, but...
And I only have, like, one hat. That's mine.
I have a bunch, but it's too hot for hats at the moment. It wasn't yesterday at soccer, however.
I was going to say, and today at soccer it wasn't either. Today I needed to have had a hat.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
So, I guess we'll jump right in with Operation Sock Drawer?
Yeah.
Okay. I have no socks.
You have no socks?
None. I apologize. No socks
I have
for me.
3 socks that I have. So, I have an almost hoe. I got a tube.
It looks good. I like it. Did you stop where you needed to? Yep. You did, huh?
I did. Oh, I was in the light the whole time. So I knit these toe up using my Knitter's Pride Carbons DPNs 2.0 millimeters. And this is Desert Vista Dyeworks on the Vista base. And this is her...
You're looking for the color name?
Yeah, Leftoverture.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Leftoverture.
Leftoverture. So, there we are. It's self-striping. It has a 4 color repeat. I'm pleased with them. I'm happy that this one is done. And I was watching Diane's Suburban Stitcher's latest podcast, and she was saying how she's not going to try and stress to get the knit-along socks done. So she completed 16 months, I think, in a row.
Which is awesome.
Which is crazy cool to think about. 16 months of Desert Vista Dyeworks socks.
Yeah, it's a lot of socks.
That is a lot of socks. So, yeah, I've got one tube, and I'm still trying to plug away and get mine done, but I'm trying to be relaxed about it. I still have another whole week to get the second one done and going. So, it's kind of my plan for tomorrow is to get number 2 cast on. So I have something to knit on my lunch break. If I have a chance to knit on my lunch break. So, I got that done. And then I'm working on the heel flap of my Hermione's Everyday Socks in the Haunted Hogwarts colorway in our sparkly sock blank. So, and I'm just now starting to get into the orange. So you can see the way that the orange is striping up.
No, I like it.
It's kind of fun on this. So these are super fun. I'm knitting these using my Hiya Sharps, also my 2.0 millimeter needles, but these ones are my Zerks. So my little stitch marker from Dana of Unwind Yarn Company. And these are fun to knit. Hermione's socks are fun to knit. They're not, I mean, they're mindless, but you do have to kind of pay attention, but they kind of go pretty quickly.
Cool.
And you can't tell when you mess up, like if you forget to do a row or if you get off or something, then you can't tell, so that makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, that's always nice.
So I've been working on those. And then the last pair of socks that I've been working on, and you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you already saw these. Or most of them anyways. So I caked up Lydia's Jawbreaker colorway. And that's actually a really good representation of the colors. And I had said that I was going to cast onto the other pair immediately, but for whatever reason, these ones were screaming to me, and then we came up with a really cool idea. So I'm almost done with this guy. I'm almost done with my toe. In fact,
Is it?
this might be easier to show you what it looks like. There we are. So, that's what these guys are looking like knit up. I'm loving it. I only have about one more repeat, maybe 2 more repeats left, and then I can do the toe. And I'm knitting these using my Knitter's Pride Carbons 2.0 millimeter needles, DPNs. And I really like knitting with them. I'm finding myself enjoying them more and more over my magic loop for socks. I don't know if it's just because it's something new and I'm enjoying something new. It's kind of bringing a new life to my sock knitting. I am really enjoying the heel flap. So that's kind of fun. But, so this pattern will be released pretty soon, and we'll talk about this stuff more later on, our plans for this. Because we have some pretty fun summer plans.
We do. And
it specifically involves socks and sweet stuff. So that's all I'm working on. That's it. That is all I have worked on.
That's a lot,
in
though.
a week.
That's a lot. It's a whole lot compared to me, so it's a lot. You were commenting that you don't know what it is that you're enjoying so much about the double pointeds, but this is going to sound weird because I consider myself a real sock knitter. I knit socks, therefore I am a sock knitter. But I, as of right now, only magic weight. But there's something to me about seeing socks knit with double pointed needles that seems more authentic in a way. Like, that's how grandma would have done it, you know?
Yeah.
So there's just something to me about this method.
Having them.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what you'll prefer. If you will prefer using 4 needles, or if you'll prefer using all 5 needles.
Yeah, I don't know.
I find that I prefer all 5.
Mm-hmm. Because you like to have 4 on, and then half the 5th is the working, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know. We'll have to see. But to me, there's just something about it that makes it seem, I don't know, more handmade, which sounds really dumb, but
I get it though.
There's
like,
just this feeling to me.
I always looked at like when Susan B. Anderson would post the pictures and of her socks, and I was like, oh, I wish I knit socks using DPNs. I don't know. They just looked so pretty. They always look so pretty with all the little sticks coming out of them.
They do. They look beautiful that way.
It feels, yeah, I think you're right. It feels more like a true sock knitting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
as silly as that seems.
I know, right?
And then there's been a discussion also while we're on the topic of socks. A lot of people are bringing up the question, nylon or no nylon? Which one is more durable? And does it matter? So, I, for the longest time, I actually prefer knitting with no nylon or with limited nylon. I am not really a fan of knitting with merino blends anyways that have 25% nylon content. I don't know why. I'm just not. I prefer less nylon as it
20%
runs
or less.
through my fingers.
Me too. 20%'s about as much as I like.
Yeah, and so for really, I mean, I knit my socks using, unless I'm doing the Desert Vista Dyeworks, most of my socks either have no nylon or only 20% nylon, and both of them seem to hold up about the same amount for me. So, I don't know. I don't know if it makes a true difference for me as far as the longevity of my own socks. I feel like I go through them in the same amount of time.
See, and for me, and I will preface this by saying I'm hard on my socks, and I know that. Because I'm not a shoe person, so I generally will just wear my socks around the house just as my socks. But with all of the years of dance, I know I stand a funny way, I know I walk a funny way, so I put pressure on socks in places that other people wouldn't. So I know that I can't use how my socks wear as like this is how everyone's are going to do it. But for me, honestly, I've noticed that the socks of mine that have less nylon hold up better than the ones that have nylon.
That's really interesting. I also noticed that, so for me, I have knit only 2 pairs of socks that have used BFL, and the rest of them are merino content. I've noticed that my BFL socks definitely hold up better than my merino, and they both have no nylon. So it also depends on the type of wool that you're using and the staple length and everything like that, I think. Merino is has a shorter staple length. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to try Polworth really badly. I want to try Polworth socks. knitting with Polworth yarn. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what your guys' thoughts are on that. And my next question is, what about BFL in our shop? We've offered it a couple times, but I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on that too. I know that's kind of...
Well, and also, currently the only yarn that we really offer that doesn't have nylon in it is our sport. So would you guys like a fingering weight that doesn't have nylon?
Yeah,
You know, whether it's a BFL or something other. We used to, and we don't carry it as much anymore.
So I would love to know. I figure this is the best place to ask.
Yeah. So let us know if you want us to bring that back. Yeah.
All right. So that's all my sock talk.
Okay.
Sock talk.
So
Like Christian girls.
Right? Sock talk. I like that. I love their
too.
little thing.
Me too.
Knit life.
Knit life. I have no knit life other than planning knit life.
And I have very little knitting of any kind this time, you guys. I'll just be honest with you. This week, well, so I was sick, as you all know, and I wasn't really knitting, but this week I just haven't had any knitting mojo. It's been a rough mommy week for me. My kids were hard this week, and homeschooling was difficult this week, so that kind of took a lot of brain power, and there was just not a lot of knitting. So I will show you the little bit of knitting I do have, because I do have some. And unfortunately, I'm like right in the middle of a row, so...
I always stop in the middle of a row. Why is that? Why is it that we do that? We know that we're going to talk about it.
Why don't we just wait?
Why don't we just not start that row or just finish it?
So I'm working on my 3-color cashmere, which I am housing in my beautiful bag from the Rusted Stitch, which is Hot Pink Socks, Stephanie, her shop. I love this bag. And I finished the stripe section, so I have started adding my 3rd color, which I am loving.
Oh, I love the way that looks
I
together.
think it's going to be very pretty, all knit up and finished. So I've done that. So I had, when we saw you guys last, I think I had 3 stripes each of those colors. So I finished those this week and I've started this. So I'm on my last row of the repeat, and then I have to just keep doing that for quite a while.
Oh, I love that.
So I've done that, and I'm really enjoying it. You wouldn't think from the lack of progress that I've made that I'm enjoying it, but I truly am. I've loved everything about it. I've loved seeing the new colors. I like all the new sections that you get. So I'm
That was one
excited
of my
to see
favorite things about the cowl, that the 3-color cashmere cowl. I loved getting to see all of the different, use the different yarns. It felt like it was always a good time to switch to the next color, or a good time to start to the next texture.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. So after I get done with my Sahara Rose colorway, which is this really pretty wheat, then you go back and do another like lacy section with this color, and then the bottom will finish with the pink.
Oh, I'm excited. So you only have 3 sections left.
This one is fairly wide, though. I think it's about the same, I think it's close to about the same width as the stripes. Or at least it appears as though it is in the picture. Maybe not. It might not be quite that wide. But I'm excited. So I'm really hoping that by the time we see you guys next time, no promises, that it'll be done. Because I would like to enter it into the knit along with the grocery girls. So
Yeah, and that's due at the end of the month, right?
I believe so, yes. I believe the end of April. So I have exactly a week. So okay, so you have no other knitting? Okay. And then I didn't really get very much progress on this either, but I did do a little, so I'll show you guys. I'm almost done with the increased portion of my little Slo'Moe by Susan Claudino. So I can start decreasing and stuffing his little shell here soon. I have like 2 or 3 rows left, and then I'll start decreasing.
So okay, do you have to make 2 of those?
No.
You just make 1.
It's just the one. So in the pattern, she actually has the pattern written because one of them is slightly smaller, but he's not smaller by very much. I think her thing says he's only a couple inches smaller. So there are, I believe, are instructions in the pattern for both sizes. I am making the bigger one.
Yeah, on the picture, it looks like that shell goes on both sides. Does it not?
It does. So it gets, so you fill it, so you're going to, here. So you get to a certain point, and then you stuff his whole body, and then you start decreasing again. But then you kind of pull this end through to make it slightly flat, excuse me, so his body will be here, and then it attaches to his long little piece here. So this ends up on its side. It doesn't end up this way. It ends up like this, so you see it on both sides. It just sits in the middle of his little body.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No.
It'll make sense. I'm going to try to get this done too so you guys can see that. So just picture, here's his little shell. His body will come under and go up.
Right, but isn't there another shell piece?
Yeah, but that'll happen on the other side when you decrease it. This basically becomes a ball that you flatten.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
I
think it's like, yeah, like a ball. Yeah. She's got it now. It's there.
I was thinking that the way that it was made, like, I thought you were making two circle half pieces, like two halves, two circles.
Mm-hmm.
They were, like, on the ends.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you are. It's one piece, though.
But I pictured, like, the purple or whatever color you're using. Like, the snail and then those shell pieces on either side. Mm. I wasn't thinking.
No, yeah. You just make the one and then his body just... I would assume you attach... I mean, I'm assuming you have to attach his body because it comes all the way up and over. So I would assume that you sew it to the shell at some point. But the shell is just one piece.
Interesting.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
So that's the minuscule amount of progress I've made on both of my projects this week. I'm like the worst knitting podcast host ever this week, guys.
It's just been a rough week.
It was a very rough week. Yeah, just no way around that. It was just a rough week. So, like I said, it was one of those you question all of the decisions you've made as a mom week and go, was this homeschooling thing a good idea?
But then there's next week, and it'll all be better.
Let's hope so, right? Let's go into a week with a good... And it was funny, tangent, and if this is offensive to anyone, I apologize, but the sermon at church this morning was it was about how our tongues are our biggest weapon and also can be used for the most good. And I was like, you have to be careful as a parent, especially the things that come out of your mouth, because they can either guide your children a certain way or they can truly harm your children. And I looked at my husband, I was like, really? This is the sermon we get this week? And he's like, well, apparently you needed to hear it. So I was walking out of church and saw another mom friend of mine. I'm like, yeah, that was totally for me, because I feel as a mom, sometimes everything that comes out of my mouth is venom. And she's like, right? And this week was completely that way. Yeah. So.
Testing of patience.
Oh, for sure. We are in that season of life at the moment, for sure.
Yeah. So, okay, Knit Life planning. Mm-hmm. So we have planning for it. We didn't really get a whole lot of knitting done.
Yeah. Well, and technically it doesn't start till the 1st of May, so
but okay. we got some planning stuff done. So we pulled out some yarn. We're testing out a new base, and we thought this was the best time to do that.
Yep.
And we dyed up some yarn.
We did.
And we did it separately.
We did.
And Lydia just brought her skeins over here today to show me, and I had my skeins to show her.
So this is for the Sunwalker Shawl that we're going to be knitting in May and June.
So, apparently we're on the same track, because we both went for the golden
rusty
thing. I did purple.
Sarah's is slightly darker. Hers has purple, and mine just has more of the rust and the yellowy gold.
So Lydia's are all pretty much the same.
Except for this one in the middle, it has quite a bit more rust than the others, but so this will be my Sunwalker shawl.
I love the way this looks. And then mine, you can tell I have one that's a little lighter. I have one that is medium.
This one,
Yeah, and then this middle guy,
which is my favorite one,
is a little bit more plummy kind of colors in it, and so I'm going to put that plum color as the texture, like the lace panel. So mine will be like this, and this will be the one that gets tied in the knot.
See, that's kind of how I'm doing. I think I'm going to do the one that has the more rusty
in the middle.
But
it's kind of funny though.
Great minds think
we
alike,
did not plan this.
No, we didn't.
And this is, and we were both like, oh, we'll do something totally different, so that way we can wear it, and it won't look like we.
They're almost identical. Mine's just slightly lighter.
Yours just
less purple.
So, anyways, I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to get this one caked up.
We also wanted to, while we're talking about it, we have had a couple people ask if we will have ready to ship yarn in the shop in a large enough quantity to do this particular shawl. We will be putting that up sometime this week, and it will go out either at the end of this week or the first part of
Monday.
Yeah, the first part of May. So you would still get it like the first week or two of May. So yes, we will have that in the shop available.
And I think, what is our plan? I think we had talked about doing earthy tones and neutrals.
Yeah, some neutrals, some earthy tones. So we'll have some more marbly type things similar to this. And then we'll also have just some semi-solid things available. But then we also want to let you know, for anyone who wants to participate but will not be using the Ohloops yarn, we had said that there wasn't going to be a prize. That has since changed. So if you're going to participate with the knit-along but don't use Ohloops yarn, we've had a wonderful person donate an amazing prize. So there will be awesome prizes if you are using our yarn, and an awesome prize if you are not using our yarn.
Yep.
So please don't feel like you can't participate if you do not have enough yarn of ours to do so. We've also kind of been playing around with the idea of if you use a majority of our yarn, so if you're knitting the shawl and you use 2 skeins of ours but not a third of ours that's somebody else's, we will accept that as you used Ohloops. Because we realize that not everyone has 3 skeins that they can put together. So there are lots of options. So there will be yarn available that's ready to go. You could use just 2. If you're not using any, there will also be a price for that.
Yep.
So yeah. Good stuff.
I'm excited about that.
Me too.
So when we podcast next, hopefully we'll have some casting on. Guys, and it's okay to start casting on now. Like, it's the 24th.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a stickler about 6 days.
Me either. If you have time to cast on this week,
go
right ahead.
Just have fun.
If you've already.
So, shop happenings. So, we already showed you some of the pre-order skeins. We're going to show you again. That Lydia dyed up for Monday's update. So when you guys see this, the update will already be in the shop. So she dyed up 5 colorways, and I dyed up 5 colorways. And you haven't seen those yet. And then we dyed up 4 additional colorways for this new summer series that we're doing.
So
I really like it.
The ones that I showed you guys last time are this one. Sorry, yarn keeps trying to roll off my lap. This one is Enchantress, which I honestly think is my favorite.
It's coming up purplely on the screen,
yeah,
kind of.
And it's more
it's
blue.
Not. It's blue.
It's a very pretty, like, ocean blue. It's more that color. That's more it. This one is a duotone that's called Butterflies in My Head.
This is the one that I was originally going to cast on right away. Sorry.
This one I have decided to call Afternoon Tea. This one is a variegated. This one is yarn on the floor. This one is the Jawbreaker that Sarah is working on right now.
Yeah, I'm moving up.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's really cool that you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
How it knits up.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then the last one I did is this one, which is called Roller Derby.
I did kind of a bird theme.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is Birds of a Feather.
I love this one.
With like mauves and golds. There's that one. There is Mrs. Bluebird. And this one you can't tell, but this is like a very light, pale periwinkle color with some speckles on it.
Mm-hmm. I
There's
love that one.
This is Bluebird. This one is Yep. Song Sung Blue. But this is like my favorite part right here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all these different blues with some speckles over top, greens and mustards and some rust colors.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited about this one. This one is Tweedledee.
I love that one.
And this is not white. It's a very, very, very pastel, pale, light blue that's washed over.
Mm-hmm.
And some gold and honey kind of colors with some speckles on top. Love that one.
This one's my favorite. You guys can't really see it.
You can't see it.
Maybe put it in front of your shirt. No, that didn't help either. It was when we held it up to the camera it worked, though, earlier.
There you go. You can
Yeah.
kind of see. It's a pale pink and pale, like gold, like yellow.
Canary yellow.
Canary.
It's really, you guys can't see it all. There's like
You can kind of see
the
pale
peachy
pinks.
tones in there. There's
Yeah.
a good spot up there. So it's,
Specklies.
it's beautiful, you
I
guys.
can't remember what I called this one.
Chickadee. Right?
Chickadee. That's what it is. Like, oh, she's good at remembering the names. I have fun naming them, but I always forget. So there you can kind of see the yellow tones,
Mm-hmm.
but there is some pink washes over in it too. So I think this is one of my favorites. This one and the periwinkle one out of the newest ones that I just got done.
I think all these right here.
They're so much fun.
Those are my favorites.
I love them. Love, love, love.
Me too.
So, those are like, I would say like springtime collection set. But then we were talking every single year, every summer we have a something S summer. So we've had a 5S summer, we've had 3S summers.
We did a super secret summer swap something one year.
Yeah, 1 year. We've done one where it's stripes, semi-solids, and speckles. That was our 3S. No, super.
Was that the 5S?
That was the 5S.
Yeah, something.
Something like that. I don't know. Every year we do an S-themed summer. And this year we're going to do it again. So, Lydia dyed up the Jawbreaker colorway. And I started knitting the socks, and we decided on doing a super sweet summer. Super sweet summer. So each month we're going to come out with some sweet themed mini collection. That will be pre-orders, not ready to go.
Right.
And we're going to come out with a sock pattern, and you can choose to buy the kit or not. And if you buy the kit, it'll have a sock pattern, or maybe it'll just be the coupon code for the sock pattern, or maybe we'll just reference the sock pattern that it's for. We haven't worked out the details all the way yet. And it'll come with the yarn, and then with an extra, so, and probably some candy.
So the first theme is candy, because Sarah's kind of a candy junkie.
Yes, so we have Lydia's Jawbreaker colorway, which I don't know what I did with it.
Oh, I just stuck back over here. So there will be, all of the skeins will be available as individual skeins. You can purchase any of the ones that we show. There will also be the kit option, which will have a drop down, and you can select which skein you would like in your kit. So any of the ones that we're going to show you, these 5, right? There's 5 of them?
There's 5.
You can
There'll be
choose
5 different colorway options.
So,
Or you can buy them by themselves, too.
right. So you can have the Jawbreaker.
You can have Good and Plenty. And it's the reds and pinks and purples and black speckles.
Or you could have Nerds, which is the hot pinks and purples and turquoises that you would find on the Nerds box. I love this one.
Me too. We have Lemonhead. Whoa. Yeah. So that blows that out big time. Lemonheads, there we are.
There you go.
It has all different yellow speckles.
Or there's Fruity Slices, which is kind of all the citrusy colors. There's oranges and yellows, and there's pinks,
Green.
greens.
Yeah.
So
that is really fun.
yeah. So those are all going up on Monday. So by the time this episode airs, it'll already be out. So those are going up on the 25th, and they'll be up for pre-order for a little while.
Okay, and so the difference between them two is that the kit version, so all of the skeins will be up for pre-order for as long as they are, but the kit option will only be up for a limited time, so that way we can get that dyed up and sent out. So it may come down before the rest of them. So if you're wanting a kit specifically, then you'll want to get in on that one pretty quickly.
Right. So the kit yarns, you'll also be able to choose an option. You can have either the quarter round base of ours, which is a 100% merino, or our normal Ascot, the 80/20. And then the other skeins will be offered on our Ascot and then our glitter base.
Yeah.
So if you want it to be sparkly, you can have that.
You can have a sparkly option. So yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be
I do too.
a fun collection. All of the clubs for April will be finally going out on Monday. Should all be out, and then we'll be getting May's together.
Your May club will probably be there sooner than the April one.
It'll be there in the appropriate time.
Yes.
That we want to do it anyways.
I have Mailbox Madness. I'm super excited about it. So Sarah and I both dyed yarn for the Rainbow Along, and then we participated in the Rainbow Along, and I was lucky enough to win something for that, which I was very excited about. I won a skein of Witch Candy, and I love her thing. It says, Witch Candy, hand-dyed yarn, makes every sweater better. And this is... the colorway is called Sugar Skulls, and it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards.
It's beautiful.
You guys, look at that. It is going to make the funnest pair of socks, or stuffy, or something, or both.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes.
I love the bright colors.
Me too. And you can find her shop on Etsy. It's www.etsy.com/witchcandy. So, here's her little... So, thank you, Diane, and thank you to Witch Candy for my lovely skein of yarn.
Yeah, I love it.
Me too.
Love it, love it, love it.
It's very pretty. I love the, like, acid green that's on it.
And I love that one of her kids probably wrote that.
Wrote Witch Candy.
I can't really see.
No.
It's cute though. It's super nice.
I like her tags. They're cool. I love the little picture.
It's adorable. Love it.
So, that came in the mail this week. Do you have any mail?
I have no mail.
No mail. Okay. Do we want to do our Knitting 101 question?
So we should probably do Knitting 101 since it's been a while since we've done Knitting 101.
Yeah. So my question this week was, what is one of your favorite things about knitting, and what is something that you don't always enjoy?
my favorite things about knitting.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy the feel of the fibers in my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy types of needles. I like it. I think that's my favorite part. It's the hands-on, the feeling piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the finishing of a project. It's the process when the perfect yarn
Mm-hmm.
meets the perfect pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. One of my least favorite things about knitting is... I think it's when I want to knit so many different projects and there's not enough time to do it. And it feels like as soon as I get done with one and I have time to knit the next one that I want to knit, there's already 5 more that I want to knit. So I think that's the one thing I don't enjoy, that there's so many amazing things that I want to do and I don't have all of the time to do it.
Right. Yeah, I'll start with my thing I don't always enjoy. It's the exact same thing. I am a constant cast-on-itis junkie. Like, I want to cast on to everything. But then I truly start to get overwhelmed, and I think that might be kind of where I'm at right now. I currently have 16 projects on the needles, and there's just not enough time to finish those. But there's also this desire to have them done, but all these other things that I'm like, oh, I want to make that. I want to make this. I want to make that. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of this repetitive cycle of all of these things that sometimes I'm still in love with but just don't have the time for, or some things that I've really kind of fallen out of love with but I've kind of committed to them for one reason or another, whether it's for someone else or it's for a knit along or it's, you know, something that I've shown on the podcast and want you guys to be able to see finished. There's, you know, that happens, and so that can sometimes be not my favorite part. My 2 favorite parts about knitting, I do enjoy the process, but like Sarah said, it's finding that perfect project where I'm loving the way it feels to knit it. I'm loving the way the yarn is knitting up. I'm loving seeing it morph into the final project. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy that part of it. I love feeling like I'm creating something with my own 2 hands that I'm going to love for a long time, or that my kids are going to love for a long time. And then I also have to say, I think one of my other favorite things about knitting is this community that it's opened me up to. You know, being a podcaster has opened up so many new relationships, but that all started from being a knitter. You know, I've been able to spend the last 6-7 years of my life in this knitting community, meeting people and getting to see people grow as a knitter and as a dyer and as a shop owner and as a maker. And that has been an amazing thing.
Yeah, I would agree with
There's just so many relationships that I wouldn't have had without knitting. So so thanks for teaching me how to knit.
Yay!
So that's it for me. Those are my favorite parts.
I agree. I agree with all of the above. It's all good.
Yeah.
After I just got done fixing my mistake.
Mm.
I hate when I do that. When I'm not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's everything for us this week. We made it under an hour, quite a bit under an hour. I'm hoping that the next time that we meet with you, I will have some more knitting progress.
Me too.
To show.
Me too.
I'm kind of anticipating that our trip to Seattle, I will get quite a bit of road knitting done. So
yeah, that'll be good. I'm hoping this week is a better knitting week for me too. I think it should be, but
it's
no promises.
For me, it's probably not going to be a better knitting week during the weekday because I start a new job.
She does.
Tomorrow. A day job, a real live day job.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be doing that. And also with that said is I'm not going to be able to be available to answer emails or anything until after 5 or after 8 p.m. most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And because I still have soccer. So I will be going straight from work to soccer 4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have 1 day off. So
Yep.
if you don't hear from me most of the time, you'll probably hear back from me on Wednesdays. just so you're all aware.
Mm.
So, we're on the weekend.
Yep.
But, yeah. So, that's happening. Big stuff.
Yep.
All big stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess that's everything.
I think so. So
Yeah.
until next time, we hope you enjoy what you're knitting.
Bye-bye.
Bye.